Good morning, friends and Bitcoiners. Welcome to another episode of BCN Crypto Kickoff. My name is Mr. Clifford T. Mitchum, and I will be your host. Welcome for everyone to coming out, and we'll go ahead and get everything rolling. So, crypto shout out to my man, Eugene Forrest of Bitcoin and Coffee. He's doing his show right now, so my apologies for missing that because I got to do my show. But I'll catch you on the replay. Hope you had a good time over at EDC and hope to see some great info coming from that. And best of luck going for Forbidden Kingdom. All right. To get everything started, let me go ahead and welcome everybody to our chat. And good morning to you, Mr. Smooth Talking Hank. Thanks for joining us this fine morning. So to get everything going, let's kick it off as we always do by going over our disclaimer. The information provided in this show is for educational purposes only and is not financial or investment advice. For financial advice, please speak with a licensed professional. So now with that said, let's get started and get into it. Last week in Bitcoin, that is the week of November 4th through November 10th. Bitcoin started off the week at $6,324.25. It finished out the week at $6,409.22. That is an $84.97 gain or 1.3% increase. What can I say? It's more of the same. Flat all the way across. We see little bits of activity going on, but no giant troughs, no big rises. We had a little bit in the middle of the week, there was a little bump, but it wasn't anything too significant. Everything's been hanging out in this nice 6,200, 6,500 range. Expected more information coming from the ETF, but didn't see anything major coming from the SEC. So I guess they're just going through with their paperwork. And that's about all we had with that. More of the same. It's flat. I expect to see something coming soon. Something is going to break out. Bitcoin generally hits its all-time high towards December, and it starts ramping up through November. So I want to see something with an indicator for this week, just to let us know that things are going to be going forward. But, what can we say? This increase is, just nominal, just as far as everything goes. But looking at what happened in Bitcoin this week, last year, of November 4th through November 10th, Bitcoin started off that week at $7,404.52. Finished out the week at $6,618.14. That was a $786.38 drop for that week, or 10.6% decrease. Now you see the chart of this week. It was going flat, then all of a sudden dipped at the very end, and then just held out for that. That's more of the volatility that we expect coming through Bitcoin. But this year just hasn't been the same as last year. Overall, though, the two charts are very similar in the sense that for the most part, they were pretty stable and flat. It's just kind of a lull as we go into the Thanksgiving holiday. With Thanksgiving in mind, I kind of expect to see a bit of a dip on that as people take profits or they take something out, but nothing major, seeing as many people are still wrecked or they still see a lot of inaction going on, so they don't want to move their funds before anything really happens. So I would expect for this week a small dip as we get closer to Thanksgiving, or actually that'd be next week as we get closer to Thanksgiving. But just as far as a run up to that, it's more of the same. We're looking to have some activity coming from somewhere, anywhere, just to get things going and moving in the crypto space. I got so used to, the giant swings up, giant swings down. This whole stability thing is it's unsettling. All right, so moving on to what was going on Bitcoin next week last year. That would be the week of November 11th going through November 17th. It started out the week at $6,295.45, finishing out that week at $7,708.99. That would be a $1,413.54 gain, or 22.5% increase. That's what we were seeing last year, a big run up as we moved in towards Thanksgiving. This year, I expect to see more of a dip personally, just because the activity hasn't been as high. The swings just aren't there. But I mean, a $1,400 jump in a week is, just tremendous, hand over fist. That's just up to that great ramp all-time high that I'd like to see. I would hope to see a little more activity coming in after the Thanksgiving holiday. People, the running up to the Christmas season and the holiday season, where people are handing out cryptocurrencies and bitcoins as gifts, presents, and reaching out with family, friends, people they haven't talked to for a long time, and talking to them about cryptocurrency. However, this year I think it's going to be more of a eating crow situation because everybody knows that one friend you've been talking to Bitcoin around, or people that know you've been talking about Bitcoin, and they look at the market saying, how about that Bitcoin? How's it doing? Last year you were so excited about it. These people, they watch it closely. So when it does break out, they're going to be the first ones in line to get more, or to get some for that matter. But in the meantime, just, put your hands in your pocket, smile and nod, take it on the chin. People are going to have their issues. Pay them no mind. They're not in crypto and they don't know anything about crypto. I always give the good example. If you want to know about diamonds, you don't go to a bricklayer. Not to know that, not saying anything against bricklayers, but if I want to know something about bricks, I'll talk to them. If I want to know something about diamonds and the gems we have in cryptocurrencies, I'm going to talk to another cryptocurrency enthusiast that's actually well versed in cryptocurrency. So Smooth Talking Hank agrees 100%. He's been feeling that way for months, and would like to see more activity. I do expect a dip coming up to the holiday, but I really feel the market itself is just waiting for the SEC to do something, and the SEC is dragging its feet because it knows the market's waiting to do something. So the longer that they can keep it cool, the more time they have to finish out the quarter, start off the new year, entering the crypto space. So that's kind of where we go down that. So let's look at our quarterly action. Q4 of 2017, last year. Bitcoin started off that quarter at $4,395.81. Finished out the quarter at the grand height of $14,156.40. That was a $9,760.59 gain, or 222% increase. I'd love to see that again. That was the big run up, everything going to the all-time high. I'm just not seeing that happening for this year. It's just, not quite the case. You expect just kind of more of a running start as you go into it. We could have some spikes just based off of people trying to do some end of the year activities, but getting up to that 20,000 range, even into the 14,000 range, it's still going to be quite difficult. I'd be happy to see Bitcoin getting up to 10,000 and holding on there. But the main thing is to look at the chart, the slow growth that they have going, the steady increase that we have going on to there, but it's just not quite what we have going on for this year. So we have a question coming in from the chat. All right, so Smooth Talking Hank. Do you think it is a coincidence that we've been in a bear market ever since the implementation of BTC futures market? Do you think the ETF will be a good thing? Well, I would say actually we were actually into a good place when the futures market was first took off, and everything was going great because it was new. It was still that shiny toy. Now, as the quarter ended, we had started seeing more people getting bearish about it. So it was the quick influx of everybody getting excited about futures activity, expecting more institutional implementation and more expansion across the legacy markets. That just wasn't the case. The futures market was the test case for a lot of activity, and it actually did usher in a lot of the legacy financial advisors and investment personas coming into the crypto space. And because you had so many of them coming in and bringing in their funds, and we're talking about guys that actually are whales. They're not the average crypto person that has a couple grand into it. These people have tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars that they're playing with. So once those people got together and started saying, there's something to this cryptocurrency thing. I can see this stuff being implemented, and I really see them saying, you know what, it's not quite ready yet, so I don't think it's going to quite have the future that we would expect. And them putting a turn on that, I do think that was a good factor in the turnaround for that. So it was kind of the regular ICO bounce, really great in the beginning and then tailors off down to a downtrend. Overall, I'm not sure if it was the implementation of the futures itself as much as the investors themselves. Because once the investors saw the potential gains, that's what I think made it more bearish. They're definitely linked, but I think the investors are more the leading cause to the bear market than the actual implementation of the futures. What you see a lot, and I use the Facebook IPO as a great example. What these market makers tend to do is crash a market, bring it down and do what they can to depress it. That way they can buy it up on the cheap. Facebook, when it came out, was something like $130 for its initial offering. But then once everybody started dumping it and selling it, it got the price to drop off. And then the big players in like Goldman Sachs and the large legacy markets started buying it up at the ground floor. So I see that's one of their plays that they have going on in the book. I really feel that they were trying to push us down further than the 6,000, and the people not buying into it more is really what's been holding it at the 6,000 range. Because what you'll see are the troughs. Like looking at the quarterly page for the year to date. Let's just jump into that real quick. So Q4 2018, it started off at $6,593.24, finishing out, currently in the quarter at $6,370.15. That's a $222.49 drop, or 3.4% decrease. More of that flat action going on. But the key to note is right in the second week of October, middle of October, we see that sharp drop off, levels out, and then comes back up. I think that was more of a play by institutional market makers trying to drop the price more, seeing that people aren't biting into that hook and they're not getting into the frenzy. They hang out there, then they move their funds back into it. They're kind of just do a shakeout just to get everything moving. So that way they can kind of maybe play with some of those shorts and augment the futures activity. But it's moves like that that really make me feel that those are the institutional players. Like sharp drop, nothing. Sharp increase. They move their funds out. Try to see if they can get anybody else to follow suit. Nothing happens. So they move their funds back in. And being more of a day trading aspect of it, they kind of just made their money on that, expecting it to drop. So main thing is hodlers holding strong, keeping that currency stable as they try to do their activity to drop it. Now, I don't want to get too pessimistic about the legacy markets and the institutional players, because as much influence as they may have, they don't have enough influence to completely derail the crypto space. We have a lot of activity coming in for international markets and people coming in for mass adoption. That's really going to make a greater impact over cryptocurrency and Bitcoin. So with that said, let's move into our top stories. So the first story we have coming in for the week is on November 5th, Bank of America secures tamper-proof blockchain patent. This story came across our Twitter feed from bitcoinnews.com. Again, not related, but similar names. So now what you see here is the second largest bank, second to Morgan Chase, Bank of America, has reluctantly been entering the crypto market and the crypto space. In this particular aspect, they put together a storage patent. So what it does is it protects the private keys so that if a hacker would try to access those and get to those funds, it's going to have sensors that trip to make it tamper-proof. So that it'll have particular code that actually attacks that code or protects the storage code, so that way those funds stay in place, which is a great idea, because the biggest thing you see as far as hacking going on from exchanges is that their hot wallet gets hacked, which gets connected to their other hot wallet, connected to their other hot wallet, and they lose millions of dollars worth of coins. So, tamper-proof storage system, good on them for that. It's a great idea. They're still not, bullish on Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, but they are understandable about the power and influence of the blockchain technology. So you see more of that coming in, and you see more adoption from the bank aspects, which is where those financial players are connected to. So good on Bank of America for doing that. Although I can understand why you wouldn't want to embrace a thing that's probably going to be your ultimate downfall. Understandable. All right. And so crypto shout out to bitcoinnews.com for that article. Thank you. Next article coming in from on November 6th, the SEC to issue simplified crypto guidelines. That's on our Twitter feed, and that's a crypto shout out going out to Traders Profit Club. Thanks for posting this. So what it says is that the SEC will announce new guidelines about designated crypto securities. This is going to be more in line with what ICOs are doing, but this article itself is kind of like a Tron move. Hey, we're going to make an announcement about making an announcement in the future. Good for marketing, keeps the name floating around and everything. But I mean, for all intents and purposes, let's just get them some guidelines or tell us about the framework, a little more details, rather than saying, hey, we're going to give you an announcement about something that we're going to be doing in the future. But it's good to know. The key takeaway of this announcement is that they did say it's going to focus more on ICO activity. Basically, if you have an ICO and saying, hey, our coin's going to go to this, and it's going to increase in value, you're going to make this much money just by investing with us. So buy them up in the pre-sale. That is talk like a security. So that is probably going to get somebody get their coin listed as a security token, even though it may or may not be. So careful with that wording. I really recommend somebody going down the Binance route, and Binance says focus on your project. Make sure that the utility that's inherent to your project is good and workable. The value actually comes from people utilizing a good project, seeing that the token does what it's supposed to do, is secure, and is easily moved. Stuff like what PoonDX is doing. I really am becoming really bullish on PoonDX, and I'm adding it to my portfolio personally. But they've got hardware that does transactions for cryptocurrency that's similar to and looks like traditional hardware when people are running credit cards. This makes people more comfortable. It's something that they're already familiar with. And based off of that utilization is what's actually getting them more value. It's a great example of how to focus on your project and move ahead, which builds value in your coin. So look for things coming along those lines coming from the SEC. Our next article coming in from November 8th from Coinbase. And what it says is BAT is now live at Coinbase.com. Crypto shout out to Coinbase for announcing this. BAT's one of the tokens that they actually said they were considering to be added to Coinbase. There were 5 of them they had. I don't remember the top off my head, but they've already included Ethereum Classic, 0x, ZRX, and now BAT. So, people that are really considering looking what coins to invest in, if Coinbase says they're looking at adding that coin, might be a good one to get that. Just saying, that's my thinking on it. The logic's been with it. So they see a good bounce in their value as more people have been introduced to that coin just through Coinbase, and Coinbase intends to add hundreds more coins. So keep an eye on the activity that they have going through. That's going to be a good bellwether as far as what coins make good, profitable coins to add to the portfolio as we do ramp up activity in the coming year. So good on that. Congratulations for that listing. Now, this is one of the big articles I really see. China lifts the Bitcoin ban. Individuals and businesses can now own cryptocurrencies legally in China. This is a big mover. Now, more than what the legacy financial advisors can do, China has, a couple billion people, 1.5 billion people, and many of them are at what we would consider impoverished levels, and many of them are also, crazy rich. Now, those crazy rich people, once they actually have the ability to, circulate Bitcoin, they're going to be talking to those poor people, saying, "Hey, get this cryptocurrency and you can buy whatever stuff that I'm selling, slinging, or talking about, and you're going to see wider adoption. Since they can now legally do transactions with this, you can see more coins being utilized in purchases. And that's going to be more independent of the central government that they have. I'm sure there's going to be some controls on it, so we don't want to see anybody going too crazy. But the mass adoption is the key here. Since it now can be looked at legally, you're going to have more people looking into it. The Asian New Year's, Chinese New Year that you have coming up in, I believe it's early January of next year, they generally pass around a lot of the cryptocurrencies, or they're taking funds out and then after that get back into it. So you're going to see a lot of activity coming in next year for that. And with this legalization, I can see a big jump in the utilization and mass adoption. So, congratulations. That's awesome news. And that ban had actually started in 2017 when we had the big rush of ICOs and everybody making money hand over fist. And, China was kind of like made a little nervous, had too many millionaires made overnight, which, it's kind of a double-edged sword. You don't want money too quick. Just come into it easily. You get a good base, good mind about you, instead of just buying stuff and blowing it. All right, our final article, which, it's obligatory to add, and, just got to get into it, despite opinions. So this article came to us it's actually on Sunday, technically, but, we'll go ahead and allow that for now. Because normally I like to keep the articles just to the past week. But it's the upcoming Bitcoin Cash fork. On November 15th, as many of us have already heard, Bitcoin Cash is going to be going through a fork. So despite anybody's opinion of Bitcoin Cash, the main thing to know is looking at the activity. From a financial perspective, Bitcoin Cash is up some 35%, 32% at the last I looked. If you were in Bitcoin Cash before, hey, you were sitting pretty. All right. So now that value increase combined with the fork means that new coin or new token is going to be, relatively profitable. Might be great to unload that or at least see what's going to be happening with that project. Because what the prevailing idea is that one side of the fork is going to diminish and the other one's going to be supported and expanded. There's still internal squabbling just in the Bitcoin Cash camp as far as what exactly is going to happen. So, see what's going on with that. I really don't get too involved with it. I don't get into drama. So I've pretty much stayed away from Bitcoin Cash. I have some, but I don't have a large stake in that. But main thing is, from a financial standpoint, it's good activity. It can be profitable. Take profits, take your gains, see what you can do for that. But as far as Bitcoin Cash, even as a project in itself, it's done great for marketing, great for business implementation. So they've got things swirling around. So good on them for that. But people are still salty over the whole way everything went down. Understandable. But emotion aside, we're in this to get something and to get some financial gain. Bite the bullet, get some Bitcoin Cash ahead of the fork, see what happens. My opinion would be a smart move. I'm not telling anybody what to do. Not giving financial advice. All right. So, and we did have a couple comments in the chat saying banks always make me nervous, and that's a true statement. But as much as banks make somebody nervous, I see cryptocurrency as being that divider that can really calm everything down, because banks can try to get into crypto and they can put out their own coins and all, but it only adds validity to the other altcoins, the other cryptocurrencies. I would generally stay away from any bank coin like the freaking plague, but at the same time, be cognizant of it and its ability to be used. All of these are tools. Money is a tool. Money isn't an end in itself. We get money to do the things that we want to do, largely get free time, and then second, do special things, events, trips, vacations, and the like. So if it can be a profitable situation, push the emotion aside and get into it. But at the same point, just know that they can't control it all. Cryptocurrency is just too decentralized. And it is big news with China and accepting cryptos, Yeah, China's accepted cryptos for a long time, but this is really adds legitimacy to the overall crypto utilization. And that's really what we need for mass adoption. One of my biggest points about cryptocurrency, we have too many people holding on to it for investment, which is a good idea. Don't get me wrong, but we need to get some currency circulating. One of the big factors for the average 80 percenter is that why would I get crypto? I can't use it. Unless you can show them that it can be used, we're not going to get further adoption. So if you're going to spend funds, take those funds, convert them to crypto, and utilize a business that actually will accept those cryptos. And that circulation, once they see the stickers in Windows saying Bitcoin accepted here, crypto accepted there, we're going to see more use. Which kind of, I'll let you in on a little secret I have. I'm working on getting a corporate sponsor. Woo! So it's a small website. We're in the talks, and we're finalizing that this week. So we should be able to have them renting out this space behind me and advertising for their service, which is one of the best ways that somebody can support a channel, make funds, and add circulation, and which would introduce the mass adoption. So I'll have more information when I'm able to announce that completely next week. So that's it for the top stories that we picked out. If you have any stories that you really feel should be included, by all means, shoot them over to me. Include them on our Twitter feed. Let me know it's there. And based off of the article and its circulation, we'll see about getting that added to our top stories list. So we also have our BCN 1 Minute With. The 1 Minute With series is something we use to help expand knowledge in cryptocurrencies. Take 1 minute to break down one of the crypto projects. The last month, I've had issues with my computer, and I've just decided, I don't know why I didn't think of this before, I'm just going to reinstall onto another computer and use that because I did something on my Linux box that just doesn't have it working. So I'll get back to that so we can get more videos, new videos out to everyone. But nonetheless, there's over 100 videos for people to take in. So by all means, look over those projects, see what coins that you haven't heard of, that projects you might find interesting. Because when you have a project actually being utilized, it's a great one to get in before everybody else rushes in and finds that gem as well. So we've done the top 100 cryptocurrencies based off CoinMarketCap's rankings of market cap. So go through that, look it over. The biggest coin I've been watching is PoonDX. They've got great project and a lot of potential in the use of their hardware. But there's also been some new activity with IOTA. Their Tangle's been having some introduction and some good partnerships that they've been putting together and building. So keep an eye out for that. Redcoin, my favorite. One of the coins I made, a decent amount of funds with. It really started off my trading activity is Redcoin. And they've been doing great stuff with their Red ID, which allows people to use as a social tipping coin and get great circulation from that. So check out those projects. Check out our videos with the BCN 1 Minute With. So now, with all that said, Bitcoiners of Southwest Florida, they have their next meeting coming up the first Thursday in December. So if you're local to Florida, come down, check it out, hang out with some other crypto enthusiasts, and let them know what you're thinking. It's always great to get together with a couple people that actually know about cryptocurrency rather than everybody else that just their eyes roll in the back of their head and they get all glassy because they are just, he's talking about it again. Talk to people that can actually respond back, give you some feedback, tell you about some other projects that you haven't heard about. A couple meetings ago, last meeting, we had found out about Koki coin, which came in from Dan, who was down in Puerto Rico. And that's a coin that they're actually beginning to use in local businesses. So that way they can get a local economy based off of cryptocurrency. So great idea, really cool project. Once I get everything going, BCN 1 Minute With, that'll be the first video that we put out. So Koki coin, look for a video coming from us. Now, our greatest resource we can do is helping everybody learn about cryptocurrencies and expanding their knowledge. We have a course called Bitcoin 101 where we take everybody through opening their accounts, how to protect their accounts, the security necessary, great beginner's course to get started in crypto. We have our Bitcoin 201. In the Bitcoin 201, we learn how to build a portfolio, get onto exchanges, how to move funds around on exchanges, and covering the basics to actually build that portfolio and expand it. And then we have our Bitcoin 301, 302. That gets into the nitty gritty of activities to get into trading movements and understanding how to move around coins so that somebody can make a profit with it. You know, it's all about education. Learning about the stuff is what's going to get somebody the implementation that they need so that way they can enter the crypto space and profit in it. Now, you can find us on the various social media sites, MeWe, Minds, Facebook, YouTube. I just got the Tribes account open, but I haven't added content or shared any videos on that. So I'll work on that and get that expanded. So by all means, everybody, reach out to us. Let us know how we're doing. We have our referral links in the description below. So when you're opening a Coinbase account, when you're looking to get on Binance, Cryptopia, you know, use our link, and we appreciate, you know, those referrals coming in from that. And also found in the description, we have donational addresses. So if you'd like to donate to the project, keep everything going, you know, we're always open to that. You know, not too proud to accept that. And so use one of those links below. If you have a coin that you want to give us that isn't listed below, let us know. We'll get that up there and we'll find out how to make that happen. So as I always do, just want to let everybody know, got to take risks to get ahead. So, you know, getting into cryptocurrency is one of the most profitable risks that somebody may be able to take without being too scary. Somebody can enter the crypto space, you know, as little as $1 if they really wanted to, but even putting in $100 in 2017, if somebody put in $100 in January, it would return to over 1,800 by December. You know, so just you got to risk it for the biscuit. Have a great day, Bitcoiners, and I'll catch you next week. We'll just go ahead and sign off on that with our exit music. Yeah, that was short now. I don't know. But thanks for coming out. Thanks everybody that's joined us in the chat. Big crypto shout out to you. And thank you, Smooth Talking Hank. Appreciate you hanging out. I'm going to go ahead and check the recap of Bitcoin and coffee. Recommend you doing the same. It's a great show. You're fun at the EDC. See you next week, everybody.